I know you've got all the T-shirts. I know you've got all the hats. I know he's Mr. Most Popular. But how can our most popular driver not win races and not even be the best driver?
Kyle Petty just delivered the most brutal takedown of Chase Elliott that we've seen in years, and it's happening at the absolute worst time for NASCAR's most popular driver. While Elliott's loyal fans are losing their minds over Petty's shocking comments, there's an even bigger bombshell that's making the situation 10 times worse, and it involves a penalty that could expose something much deeper going on at Hendrick Motorsports. What we discovered about this timing will blow your mind, and it's got everyone asking, is Chase Elliott's career about to implode? The bombshell comments came during a NASCAR.com video where Petty was supposed to be praising Chase Briscoe's breakthrough victory at Pocono, but instead of keeping the focus on Briscoe, Petty launched into what can only be described as a character assassination of Elliott that left no stone unturned. The ferocity of the attack caught everyone off guard, especially considering Elliott's status as the sport's most beloved driver. Petty's opening salvo was devastating. He praised Briscoe for stepping up under internal pressure at Joe Gibbs Racing, noting how Denny Hamlin and Christopher Bell had already won 3 races each this season. Then came the knockout punch. So, what's going on with Chase Elliott? I mean, if we say internal competition, Larson's won 3, Byron's won 1. Is Chase stepping up? But Petty wasn't finished. He dropped the statistical bomb that has Elliott fans scrambling for answers. Since 2023, Chase Elliott has won only 1 race. 1 race, people! This damning statistic cuts right to the heart of Elliott's recent struggles and exposes a troubling trend that many fans have been reluctant to acknowledge. The personal nature of Petty's attack became even more apparent when he directly addressed Elliott's fan base. I know you've got all the T-shirts, I know you've got all the hats, I know he's Mr. Most Popular, but how can our most popular driver not win races and not even be the best driver in the team he drives for? This statement is particularly stinging because it questions not just Elliott's performance, but his entire identity within the sport. Making matters worse for Elliott and Hendrick Motorsports, this public criticism comes at the worst possible time. NASCAR just hit the team with a devastating penalty following Elliott's involvement with the number 17 Xfinity Series car at Pocono. The sanctioning body imposed a $40,000 fine, stripped 40 owner points and 10 playoff points, and suspended crew chief Adam Wall for 3 races. The technical violation involved sections 14.3.3.2.1.1 K and L of the NASCAR rulebook, specifically regarding mainframe rail conical receivers. According to NASCAR's statement, officials discovered during inspection at the R&D Center in Concord, North Carolina, that the team had violated regulations that prohibit moving these components without proper recertification or making modifications to circumvent inspection processes. This L one-level penalty drops the number, 17th team, from 16th to 20th in owner points, falling from 365 points to 325. While the penalty affects the Xfinity Series program rather than Elliott's Cup Series efforts, it creates an uncomfortable narrative about inspection issues within the Hendrick organization. The fact that Hendrick Motorsports chose not to appeal the penalty suggests they acknowledge the violation. Petty's comparison between Elliott and Briscoe was methodical and relentless. He painted a picture of 2 different trajectories, one driver ascending and another who appears to be stagnating. The psychological warfare continued when Petty referenced the movie As Good as It Gets, asking whether Elliott's best days are already behind him. The brutality of the assessment reached its peak when Petty questioned whether Elliott's current level is acceptable to various stakeholders. Is that good enough for our expectations for the fans' expectations? Is that good enough for the Hendrick organization? Is that good enough for the sponsors? These questions strike at the commercial heart of NASCAR, where performance directly impacts financial viability. Petty concluded his devastating critique with a challenge that feels more like an ultimatum. In a sport where we reward wins and we reward championships, we need somebody to step up. Chase has got to step up, and if we're complacent and we're satisfied with as good as it gets, so be it. I'm not. The finality of this statement suggests Petty believes Elliott is at a crossroads in his career. What makes Petty's attack even more devastating is the context surrounding Elliott's current season. Despite sitting 5th in the standings with 9 top 10 finishes and being 199 points above the cut line, Elliott hasn't won a race since Texas last year. This winless streak provides ammunition for critics who question whether consistency without victories is sufficient in modern NASCAR. Adding to the team's troubles, the number 17 Xfinity car has been a shared resource among all 4 Hendrick Cup Series drivers, plus prospect Corey Day. Ironically, the car has achieved 2 wins this season, one with Kyle Larson and another with William Byron, making Elliott's inability to contribute a victory even more glaring. The car won't compete again until July 12th at Sonoma Raceway with Day behind the wheel, but now with a replacement crew chief due to Wall's suspension. The comparison to his Hendrick teammates is particularly damaging. Kyle Larson has already secured 3 victories this season, establishing himself as a championship contender. William Byron has 1 win, which puts him ahead of Elliott in the victory column. This internal competition that Petty referenced creates pressure that Elliott hasn't faced in previous seasons. The psychological impact of such public criticism from a NASCAR legend cannot be understated. Petty's words carry significant weight in the racing community, and his willingness to directly challenge Elliott's recent performance creates pressure that extends beyond normal competitive expectations. The question now becomes whether Elliott will use this criticism as motivation or whether it will become an additional burden. The broader implications for Hendrick Motorsports are equally significant. Petty's comments highlight the internal dynamics within the organization and raise questions about resource allocation and performance expectations. If Elliott continues to struggle while his teammates find victory lane, it could create tension within the team that affects overall performance. Looking ahead to the playoffs, Petty's criticism takes on even greater significance. While Elliott's points position should secure him a playoff spot, his lack of wins means he won't have the playoff points that provide crucial advantages in the elimination format. Drivers like Larson, Hamlin, and Bell with multiple wins will enter the playoffs with significant advantages. The fan reaction to Petty's comments has been explosive, with social media divided between those who agree with the assessment and Elliott's loyal supporters who view it as unfair criticism. This division reflects the broader debate about performance expectations for popular drivers and whether different standards should apply based on fan support. As this controversy continues to unfold, Elliott finds himself at a crucial juncture in his career. Petty's public challenge, combined with the recent penalty, has created a narrative that will follow him for the remainder of the season. Whether he can silence the critics with strong performances and race wins, or whether this becomes a defining moment that changes his career, trajectory remains to be seen. This controversy is just getting started. Smash that subscribe button and hit the bell so you don't miss what happens next in this explosive situation. Do you think Kyle Petty went too far, or is Chase Elliott's fan popularity masking real performance problems?